Is the screen visible now?
No, sir.
It's not
Yes, sir.
visible?
Now it's visible. Now it's
Now,
visible.
now.
Okay. So, wait 1 second again. You will. Just a minute, guys. पता नहीं ये घड़ी अपने आप गिर गया. चुप रहो ना, क्लास लेना है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है अपने आप कैसे गिर गया. 10 को बात अब ये निकालना है. अब हमको नहीं पता. अब हमको नहीं पता, जहां गया खोजो और चुप रहो. बीच में नहीं बोलना, बार बार मना कर रहे हैं, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा तुम सबको. कहाँ गिर गया?
हमको क्या पता, हम तो यहाँ देखेंगे कि गिरा है, कुछ नहीं.
तो छोड़ो ना अभी उसको, रखो. यहाँ बहुत
नहीं, हमको ढूंढना है, और ये मेरा है.
बुन्नू क्लास ले लेते हो कि नहीं तुम हमको?
तो हम ये ले रहे हैं, कुछ बोल रहे हैं.
निकलो ना यहाँ से. तो
तुम क्लास में रहो, कुछ बोलेंगे.
बोल तो रही हो तुम इतना.
हाँ, तो तुम भी ना चिल्ला रहे हो कि हम बोल रहे हैं, कुछ बोल रहे हैं अभी. अरे
Yeah, so let's begin the session. So last class we discussed what was Python. Okay, so let's go through that again. So Python is just a popular programming language created by Guido von Rossum and released in 1991. Okay, currently it is being used for web development, server-side programming, that is software development, mathematics, that includes scientific programming as well, scientific computing, and system scripting. Okay, what Python can do remains the second question. Okay, so it can be used on server to create web applications. Like an example will be deploying our web apps and machine learning apps and data science projects. Okay, it can be used alongside the software to create workflows like generating CI/CD pipeline and DevOps. Okay, it can connect to database systems, like you can use SQLite and MySQL and other databases like CockroachDB with Python. It is easier to integrate them and use them. Okay, so Python can handle big data and perform complex mathematics. Okay, so this we'll see in the today's session. It can be used for rapid prototyping and for production ready software development. Okay, you can do it. Rapid prototyping means generating a quick basic design overview of any project. Okay, using classes, like you have to just basically lay out a blueprint. Okay, then third question, why do we choose Python? Okay, first of all, multi-platform system. From Unix, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, Arduino, Python can run on any of this. Okay, because it's a very less requirements, okay, compared to other languages. Simpler syntax, very similar to English language, so easier to understand and code. Okay, it has a syntax that allows the developers to write program with fewer lines of code. That's Python always has promoted the concept of low code among the developers, and it's being the research topic to go deep into that low code, so deep that now today we are working in research fields. There are certain Python programs that can code themselves whatever as per their requirement. There are certain code that have been written, like an example would be there is a coding organization called Codist AI which has been working on this. Recently they had released their own, like, basic, not a prototype, I will call it just a basic overlong idea of what is Python. Okay, sorry, just I lost you somewhere. So recently they had released one software called TreeHugger, okay, which sits on TreeSitter, which is just a parser for writing programs for different languages. Okay, give me 1 second. मम्मी मम्मी हम नहीं बना पाएंगे, बुन्नू को बोले आप खुद बना लो. Okay, so what do we have understand till now? Okay, about Python, what Python can do and why do we choose Python. Okay, next thing, Python runs on an interpreter system, means code can be executed as soon as it is written, And another benefit of execution interpreter system is that debugging can be easier. Okay, so prototyping means generating a blueprint of a program is very quick because you can run it as soon as you write it. Okay, third important fact, Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object oriented way, and functional way. Okay, so let me tell you, there are three types of programming that developers usually do: functional programming, procedural oriented programming, and object oriented programming. Okay, but mostly our careers and jobs have been restricted to procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming itself. Okay, so now versions of Python. There are two major distributions of Python known as Python 2 and Python 3. Okay, currently the Python 2 distribution that was last being released by Python organization was Python 2.7, but now in today January and between December to January the support for Python 2 was withdrawn. Okay, and the current version of Python 3 is Python 3.10, released in just few days ago. So I guess some 10 to 15 days back it was released. Okay, so how to code in Python? Usually Python comes up with their own package. Python organization releases a software called Python itself, which consists of an idle which is used to write the programs. Otherwise, if you are using an integrated development environment, that's an IDE, you can simply install Python extension there, Python source code, and simply compile the Python code there directly. Otherwise, if you install the Python from Python organization, they provide you with a text editor known as idle, and there you can code Python itself. Okay. Some of the integrated development environment examples are Thorny, PyCharm, NetBeans, VS Code, Eclipse. Okay. These are some of the popular IDEs. Even Microsoft Word is an IDE. Did you know that? Some developers use Microsoft Word as an IDE, and they say that it makes up the best IDE. I haven't used, but still it is being said. Okay. So let's compare the Python syntax to other programming languages. Okay. So Python code was designed for readability, had some similarities to English language to which influence from mathematics. Okay. So let's see a basic how would I am going to write a Python code. Okay, so let's discuss that. Suppose I have to write two numbers, add two numbers, just simple Python program, add two numbers. So what I will do first, take the input. Okay, so what I will write for taking the input, I will simply say create a variable name to store the input, let the variable be a here. Then I will simply input, okay, using the input function. Simple to understand because name itself suggested that it is used to take an input, because simply the name says input. Okay, you can optionally give a message there. So input is done. Okay, now if we have to give output, what will the command we will be using? Print. What does print statement signify? To print or to get it somewhere as a export it. Okay, print means simply we what use. What do we understand by the keyword print here is simply related to printer, where we print the hard copies of our data. So what does print signifies here? To get the output of our data, whatever process we are carried out. Okay, so see, it is simply to understand. Okay, like if for function itself, how we define a function? Using def, because what are functions? How do we write a function? Because functions are basically nothing but block of code which are intended to a specific task. So we can simply signify them as they are block of code which are designed to perform a specific, which get executed to perform a signified definition. Okay, so they carry out a simplified definition itself. So that's why we use def keyword there. In classes, we simply create classes using the class keyword. How do we import a module or a package or a simple function? How do we import in Python? From this, import this function, or simply import from the module name. See, it's so easy to understand. That's why I had told the syntax is much more easier and much more easier to remember and much more easier to understand. Even a non-developer can easily understand Python syntax in just 10 or 20 minutes. Okay. Second point, Python uses new line to complete a command. Okay, it automatically, if a Python code automatically gets written in a new line, the compiler automatically and the interpreter automatically understands that it's a new line. There is no need to end a particular code with the help of semicolons, parentheses, or anything. Okay, third important point here, Python relies on indentation and using white space. So what do you understand by indentation and white spaces here? Screen was stuck. Okay, give me 2 minutes, guys. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So what do you understand by indentation? Indentation is nothing, just some spaces left purposely to signify that a block of code and is lying underneath a particular code. Like we do, an example would be if, then the condition and the colon there, and automatically, like C++, what happens if we had to write multiple steps, we have to specify it in a parenthesis. So in order to specify, not use parenthesis here in Python, what do we use? We follow a particular indentation rule. Means we just, after the if command, we just leave some spaces on purpose so that Python can understand that these statements belong to if. Means in real life example, I can just relate it to you like that. Like if is the boss here, and you have, and all the block of code which will be going to execute under the if statement here, which are going to execute under the if statement here, will be just paying respect to it by leaving some spaces there. So a real life example, so I treat if statement as the boss statement here, and the other statement which lying underneath the if statement, or particularly known as the block of code being executed under the if statement, they are just like paying some respect by leaving some indentation there. Is it clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the Python syntax. Let's dig deeper now into yes sir.
Hi Pratyush, hi everyone. So let me introduce you about this bootcamp, what we are going to do in it, and what is the purpose of it. So let me take over from it, Pratyush, for a while.
हाँ sir.
So stop presenting. I am presenting. Okay.
Okay.
So I will take just 2 minutes of your time so that it's clear कि हम actually क्या कर रहे हैं, what are we doing in this session. Okay.
पोस्टपोन नहीं कर सकता.
So let me
कोई
tell you
हाल में
about
class
ourselves,
postpone
our company, what we do, and
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं हो
what we
सकता.
all are
कुछ नहीं हो
about.
सकता है.
So myself,
माफ करो.
Achinte Gomet, and I'm running this company. I'm a 2016 batch pass out of HBTU Kanpur. I started it in few years back to help students learn about skills and lots of other things. So we have this two offerings of Two Weights app where we provide learning ebooks, notes, etc. for college students. And second, we have Tathastu by Two Weights. It's a skill learning platform where we have lots of different courses. So you can check our website if you wish to know. Pratyush, one student is trying to join, so let's see if some requests are pending. Okay, so you can check our website. We have lots of courses in Python development, data science, web development, full stack, core, Java, etc. So what we are covering in this is Python with data science. So what we are teaching you is Python from basics. So we are going to take 7 sessions of 1 hour each. So 7 hours of live learning that will happen on Google Meet, and you will get the recording on your YouTube. So we will be covering limited topics. So there is limitation of time. Okay. So we are teaching you basics today. We will do data structures tomorrow, and that's how Pratyush has divided the schedule, and he will tell you more. So you can also check our full-fledged 4 weeks bootcamp in which we help you do 4 projects with all the theory. Apart from this, we also have a data science bootcamp in which we help you learn 7 minor projects with all the theory which is needed to learn. So you can also check those bootcamp. Okay. So apart from that, this is the basic you need to know. So we will going to be teaching you limited topics because time is limited. If you want to learn things in the depth, you can join our main bootcamp of 4 weeks. Okay. Okay, so if you have any other query regarding this bootcamp, you can let me know and we will clarify your doubts, timing, attendance, certificate, anything if you have. then we will continue our learning session. I think it's quite clear. So Pratyush, you can continue, okay?
Okay, sir. Okay. So let me present my screen again. So where we were. Okay. So actually, just give me 2 minutes. I'm coming in 1 minute, 2 minutes. थोड़ा ऊंचा लगाना, उसमें डबल लगाना पड़ेगा, दोनों में डबल।
कौन सा? एक हरा वाला देना पड़ेगा।
हाँ वही तो हरा
हरा एक काफी है।
एक ही को
अरे
इन लोग गलत किया ना, आपको बहुत सारे देता है, दे दिया इधर ही।
तो ये
कितना भी पानी दिया कि कंट्रोल नहीं होता, इधर आएगा किसी
पानी इधर आए हमारे को नहीं आता, क्योंकि हमारा नाली नीचे पे है तो पानी खींच लेता है। नाली ही ऊपर कर लोगे।
मम्मी मम्मी उधर जाकर बात करो, क्लास ले रहे हैं। Okay guys, yeah. So let's dig deeper. I had told you how we are using print statement here. See the syntax of print statement here. Okay. So this is the simply print statement, and I had told you about the indentation. What does it refers to? The spaces at the beginning of a code line. Okay. In other programming languages, the indentation is maintained only for increasing the readability. But in case of Python here, it is really important here. एक में नहीं होगा भैया, दोनों में दोनों लगाना, दो लगाना पड़ जाएगा। नहीं होगा भैया, इसमें देख रहे हैं इतना पानी आ रहा है। अच्छा अभी क्लास ले रहे हैं हम, थोड़ा सा उधर हो जाए ना, क्लास ले रहे हैं। ओके हेलो, प्लीज डोंट लीव, एक्चुअली देयर इज सम, it's raining here and there's some construction work going on, so please don't leave, the class is there. Okay, so we were discussing about indentation. Indentation is used to indicate a block of code. An example I am showing you, like see here, if 5 is greater than 2, print that. So it's maintaining a particular indentation. See, there it is leaving us some space here. So that's why I had given you the real life example here. Like for all the block of code which want to get executed under some if statement or for loop or some looping statement, they had to maintain a particular indentation, otherwise they won't be getting executed. Like here, if we are writing this as, if we are not maintaining indentation, it will give us syntax error, because the syntax of if itself mentions if condition colon and then the expression coming underneath it. Okay, is that clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And one more important thing to remember about indentation, you cannot give as much space as you want. There is a particular limit, like different softwares have different, like not different, just every Pythonic software or every IDE that is using Python, they have set the default indentation to 4 spaces itself. But there are some exceptions to this, like REPL.it is an IDE, online IDE, which has set the default indentation to 2 spaces itself. So you cannot give as much spaces as you want. Okay. So if you are giving space like this, it will also give an error, because you have to maintain a certain amount of indentation, not as much as you want. Is that clear? These are the 2 important points that I had to mention regarding indentation. So next comes the Python variables right now. Okay. So how are variables being assigned in Python? Nothing, you don't have to specify the data type here, because Python automatically evaluates what data is being coming in and it automatically assigns the data type. Okay. So it literally has no command for declaring a variable. You can simply declare the variables just like you declare linear equations, except this time you are using strings and all types of data here. Okay. Then comments. Okay. Python has commenting capability for the purpose of in-code documentation. What does comments refer to? Comments in a program just specifies about important aspects of the program which cannot be easily understood by a normal person. So that's why we write comments in Python. Okay. So how do comments are written? With a hash key followed by the comment you want to write. Okay. An example of comment, hash, this is a comment. Okay. So what does this hash signify? Whenever Python interpreter encounters a hash, it simply ignores that line and moves ahead to next line. That is the principle behind comments. Okay. So Python does not only support single line comments, and multiple line comments are not supported. Instead, Python supports documentation strings instead. Instead of multi-line comments, Python supports documentation string. Okay. So how to write that documentation string? You just have to write anything in triple quotes, whether it is single or double. Okay. Without declaring in a variable. So anything coming under triple quotes without being declared in a variable is automatically treated as a doc string in Python. Okay. So here is a example of how comments are being created. Okay. It can be placed anywhere, at the end of a line, in between of a line. It can be, if you place it in between of a line, there will be an error, because it will just simply ignore the point, all the code from the point where the hash is being encountered. So you have to take care of that. So you can either put the comment and only on a single line itself, and no other code should be there on that line, or after the end of code. Okay. So these are the 2 places. Okay. So now multi-line comments. You can either, I had already told you, it does not signify it does not signify the multiple line comments. You can easily have to manually write single line comments each time here. Okay. So let's continue ahead. These are the multiple line comments. Now coming to variables. I had discussed about the variables. Then comes casting. If you want to specify the type of a variable like forcefully, then you have to use casting here. And what is casting? Like str equal to x equal to str3 means here 3, instead of being treated as a numerical value, it will be treated as a string here. Similarly, y here, it will be treated as an integer, and in z here, okay. So in terms of z, here it is float here, means now here 3 will be treated as a floating point value, means 3 is not a numeric integer here, it is a floating point value, means 3 is represented as 3.0. Okay. You can get the type of a particular variable with using the type function here. Like for example here, x equal to 5, if you print type of x, it will give you class int, means it belongs to integer class. Okay. Okay, then single or double quotes. Like many of people have some confusion regarding this. Like, should we use single quotes to represent string, or should we use double quotes? It doesn't matter whichever quotes you use, the ending should be proper. Like if you are initializing with single quotes, the ending should be in single quotes. If you are initializing with double quotes, the ending should be in double quotes. It's just the same. Okay. Then a new point. Variables are case sensitive. So means a small, if you are initializing a variable with small a here, and if you are initializing another variable with capital A, both of them will be are going to be treated as differently instead of being treated as the same. Okay. Is that clear? Hello. Is
Yes,
that clear
sir.
till here?
Repeat, sir.
Sorry, can you please?
Sir, can you repeat that line?
Yeah, variables I had said. So variables, if you have been writing the variable name as in lowercase and writing the same variable name in uppercase and storing two different values in them, then both of them will be treated as a differently. Why both of them will
Okay,
be treated
case
as differently?
sensitive.
Because
That
both
means
the,
Python is also case sensitive.
Stop. 1 minute. Hello. Yeah. Okay. So single or double, I was discussing about variable names. So if you are initializing a variable small a and if you are initializing a variable capital A, both of them will be treated differently. Okay. No matter whatever data you stored in them. Okay. Because variable names in Python are case sensitive. It depends on what case are you using. If a single case of an entire variable name gets differentiated, it will be treated as a different variable itself. Okay. So this is an important point which everyone should pay attention to, because a minute can lead to a big error as well. Okay. So how do we initialize a variable name? Because we had discussed about a variable name, there are certain rules which govern how to be initializing a variable name. Okay. A variable name can have the first letter of a variable name should be a small letter or a capital letter or an underscore. It can't be a number. Rest the variable name can be alphanumeric or can include underscore between them. Okay. But the first letter should be an alphabet or underscore. Is that clear? Okay. Then multi-word variable name. See here, multi-words. This is the camel case variable name and Pascal case variable name. You can write snake case as well. There are many cases you can for writing the variable names. Okay. Then comes data types in Python. Okay. In programming, data type is really an important concept. Why? Because the variable itself stores the data, and data are of many types. So different types can store different things, and different data can lead to different results. Okay. And different types of programming can be done on them. Okay. So text type, we have only one numeric data type, that is str. Numeric types, we have int, float and complex. Sequence data types, or better known as data structures, we have list, tuple or range. Okay, these are sequence type data. List and tuple are data structures here, and range is a function. But all of these come into sequence types. Mapping type, we have dictionary, because data is being mapped out here. Set types, we have two data types, set and frozen set. We have Python also supports Boolean data type, which it simply means true, false, or okay. And Python also has binary data types with bytes, byte array and memory view. These three are Python data types. So getting the data type, again we can get any data type with help of type function. Setting a data type, how to set a data type? Like x equal to hello world, data type will be string. Excuse me, I need to drink water here. Give me 1 minute. Actually, it is raining out here pretty hard, and there is some construction work also going on in my house, so that's why little bit background noise might be there. So please try to adjust on that. Okay. Although recording will be provided, though last class there was some technical issue for which my system could not record the meeting, so that's why I've been starting from beginning itself. And also new people joined, so I assure you that you will not lose anything. Okay. Okay. Then x equal to 20.5, it is a float data type. X equal to 1j, complex data type. X like this, a list. Again, x with, this time we had square brackets here, but this time here we have parenthesis, it's a tuple. X equal to range 6, it's a range function, means another sequence data type. X equal to, this time, curly braces, this adds a dictionary, because here two data is being stored in key value pairs here. Okay. Then x in curly brackets only, nothing there, it's termed as set. Then x, there is frozen set keyword written, and in parenthesis we have the set here, set data type. See, the set data type here matches, that's called frozen set here. X equal to true, simply a boolean data type. There is a b key character here before the string, that is bytes data type. Byte add simply comes up with a byte add keyword before the data, and data is placed in the parenthesis here. Then memory view bytes comes with a memory view keyword, and in parenthesis we use the bytes, and bytes has the in another parenthesis which contains our data. Okay, that's a memory view data type. Similarly, setting the data type here, same steps. Okay. Then comes Python numbers. There are three numeric types: int, float, and complex. Okay. I discussed x equal to 1 means int, 2.8 here means float, 1j means complex. Okay. If you are going to check the types, you can check with the following command here. Okay. So let's come to int. Why are people joining this late here? By the way, any doubts to anyone? Any doubt to anyone?
No, sir.
Okay.
Till now, no, sir.
Then int. Okay. There is no limit of storing data in any of the data type here, unless and until the memory is available. It can store any amount of data. There is no restriction on data type, unlike C++. Like int, in C++, what we had, int can store only 65,536 to minus 65,535 and others. Then there was long, then there was double, float, and all like that. It is not here the case here. Okay. It can store as many as it can want to. Similarly, floating data type is a number which stores one or more decimals, and here even if you store as many decimal points as you want, when you try to display it, it will display the number up to 15 decimal places, and after that it will round off automatically. Okay. Float can also be used to store some scientific numbers like exponent. Okay. Exponential number that we use e. The pi value of pi is also being used as a keyword here in Python. Then complex numbers, you can store complex numbers as 3 plus ij, like a plus bj format. Okay. Or x plus iy format, not I, wait, x plus yj format is being used to store the complex numbers here. Then there is type conversion. You can convert one data type to another with help of the functions known as int, float, or complex. If you want to convert a float data integer to a float, suppose what do you use? Float, then the integer value in braces. Similarly, if you want to convert from float to int, just put the floating point number in the int function and it will be rounded off to the nearest value. Okay. as per the rules of rounding. Then int to complex also can be done. Then there is a random function here. What is random? It has a built-in module called random, which generates random number. Okay, with help of rand range function, you can generate random numbers between a given range. Okay. Then comes strings. Strings are surrounded by single quotes or double quotes, whatever you prefer. You can display the string literal with print keyword there. Assigning a string simply, I had told you there is no problem, just you have to write the variable name equals and thus your string. No matter it is single quotes or double quotes. Just remember, if you are starting with single quotes, ending should be in single quotes. And again, you can create a multi-line string using three quotes. Okay. If the variable name is missing here, it will be treated as a doc string. If the variable name is there, will be treated as a multi-line strings. Okay. Strings are literally nothing but just the arrays. Similarly, the properties of arrays can be used here. Like square brackets can be used to access the elements of the string, or better known as the characters of the string at certain positions. Then looping through a string, this for loop, which we will see in next class much more detail how the for loop works. So I'm just skipping the looping part here through a string because that will be much better if you understand it first for loop, then how for looping is being occurred in a string. Okay. Length of a string can be used to find out using the length function. And if you want to check strings, you can use the membership operator known as in. Just write whatever string you want to check. If it is in a variable, you can simply use the variable name. Otherwise, you can simply write the string, use the in keyword, and if you have the string, you can just write the string. Otherwise, if the string is being stored in a variable, you can write the variable name. Okay. Similarly, if this is there, if in is also used, there is another operator not in is also used. Similarly, is also used and is not is also used. The is the identity operator. It is used to check the identity. Okay. And in is a membership operator, and in not is also a membership operator. It is used to check the membership of the things. Okay. So now Boolean values, true or false, I had told you, can be used to evaluate the logical statements using Boolean. Okay. Is it clear now, whatever we have studied? Or do you have any doubts there?
Yes, sir.
Everyone,
Yes,
is
sir.
clear?
Sir, please provide the notes.
Yeah, notes will be provided
Yes,
after
sir,
the class.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then functions can return a boolean, which we will be seeing in next class, functions and all. So it will be much better to be cleared. Okay. This I'm not. These are the topics I'm skipping now, but I'm assuring you that these will be covered in next class. Why? Because you have not studied these. We have not gone through these. What is functions and all. So there might be some very big questions there and queries. So instead of leaving you with queries right now, I am going to skip this topic, and tomorrow's class will study all this, and all your queries will automatically be cleared here. Functions I'm skipping now. Comes Python operators right now. Arithmetic operators we have all been known. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, okay, and exponentiation. But in Python there is a floor division. Why? Because data types are being automatically assigned. So if we carry out 4 divided by 3, it automatically gives us the result as in floating point format. But what if we want only the integer part, not the floating point part? So for that we have to perform the floor division. So for floor division we have to use double forward slash. Okay. And division you have to simply perform a simple forward slash. Assignment operator is equal to, then plus equal to is also there, means x equal to x plus 3. Similarly, then there is minus equal to, star equal to, divide equal to, modulus equal to, floor division equal to, exponent equal to, and equal to is also there, odd equal to, then not, then XOR equal to is also there. XOR, these are the stuff. Then greater than equal to, then less than equal to. All these we will see if you join the boot camp of ours. But here we are just covered, due to time restriction, we are covering it in just in theory. If you guys want, you can join the boot camp. The session was given by the Achint sir. If you want, you can join the boot camp. All these sessions will be covered in detail, and you will be experiencing a practical session as well. So now comes the comparison operator. This is equals, not equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to is there. The logical operators are there, and, or, and not. Identity operators I told you, is and is not. Membership operator, in and not in. Then bitwise operators are there. What is bitwise operator? It first converts the data into binary form and then evaluates the logical expression. Okay, that is bitwise operation. So bitwise AND, bitwise OR, and bitwise XOR, all of these are there. Okay, bitwise NOT, bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift are there. Okay, so these are the syllabus that we have covered today. Any doubts to anyone, or anyone wants to ask anything, can ask right now. We still have 10 more minutes. If you want to ask anything, or if you want me to repeat anything that you have missed, you can ask or put that in chat box. I shall repeat that part. You have 5 minutes, otherwise then we will leave the meeting. Okay.